Welcome to Evansville Central High School. Tonight, the Jasper Wildcats are on the road in another SIAC action. And it's a game of unbeatens as the 5-0 Jasper Wildcats are against the 5-0 Evansville Central Bears. The Wildcats come into this football game actually ranked number 3 in the media poll. Central's ranked number 6, and the coaches poll has Central ranked number 4, and Jasper is ranked number 6. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider along with John Gable and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And, Coach, just kind of coming into this football game, I mean, obviously we got 2 ranked teams. We got 2 teams that are undefeated, 2 teams that have pretty well been dominating their competition, especially in the last few weeks and all that. But, you know, when you get into a big game situation, you've coached in a lot of them. I mean, you've been in state championships. You've coached in a lot of big postseason events and regular season and all that with Jasper basketball and modern-day basketball. But really, when you come into a big game situation like this, what is the message you give your kids to make sure that they stay focused for both teams, really?
Well, usually in a game like this, Craig, you don't have to say a whole lot because the adrenaline is pumping in the kids. They're smart kids. They read the papers. They listen to the radio. They know that Central is for real and that they're an awfully good team, and they know everything that's at stake in this game as far as maybe winning a conference championship. And this is our first real test of the year. We've played a couple good teams in Modern Day and Wrights and a few others, but this is the best team we've seen so far. So as a coach, you generally don't – you shouldn't. If your kids are competitive –
right.
Which you're not 5-0 in this league if you're not. Our kids are competitive. If you're competitive, you shouldn't have to do a lot of motivating. You should just kind of, remind them of the moment. But also, you want to be excited and pumped up, but you want to remember what your job is and to remember what got you here to this point, to make sure that you're focused in on the football game on the field and not anything, any accolades or anything like that might come after the game, because that won't happen without winning the game.
Right. Well, and the other thing, too, is that, obviously Jasper's first experience playing in the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference, and Central's been in here forever. And, you've coached and played in this conference. You played football for Modern Day. And, the thing is, with this conference, basically week in and week out, tell us how difficult that really is for pretty well any team in this conference.
Well, I mean, there's going to be good and bad teams every year in any conference that you play in. But I think the thing that's really good about Jasper football joining the SIC, other than the fact that we had to lose Heritage Hills and Southridge, I love those matchups.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to miss those rivalries. But the thing that's good about this is I think we'll be challenged every week.
Right.
And in the Big 8 conference football over the last few years, I'm not going to mention names or teams, but some of the teams had fallen off talent-wise.
Sure.
And there were weeks that we basically had a week off, and you just don't have that much in the SIAC from year in to year out. So we're going to take our lumps. We're going to lose some football games here and there, but we're going to keep getting better for the postseason, and I think that's the bottom line.
Absolutely. So, again, just a big test tonight, and the Wildcats over the next 3 weeks they're all on the road, but it's at Central tonight and then on the road at Castle next week in Evansville North. And the kickoff actually goes into the end zone, and so Jasper will have the football 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. So, again, the Wildcats 5-0 on the season last week against Modern Day, winning 28-14. A game they pretty well dominated, especially, again, on the ground with the Wildcats with 274 yards rushing in that football game. Blake Mann led the way with 133 yards. Lance Dawkins with 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, John, I'll tell you, I mean, this running attack, it's a triple option. And, one thing they talk about is like Central versus Jasper. Both teams love to run the football. The quarterbacks don't throw much, but they have 2 different styles of running the football, and we'll see that here.
Right. And we're going to see a very fast and aggressive and physical defense in Evansville Central, the best we've seen so far this year.
Sure. All right, so the first play up the middle, and that's actually Dawkins, and he's able to break to the outside, so it looked like it was a play straight up the gut there, but he was able to break away and take that for a first down, gain of 12 on that first down play.
Really proud of what Lance Dawkins has done. Over the last few years, he's really beefed up. He spent a lot of time in the weight room and gotten very strong, and over the last couple of games, what I've noticed is, Craig, he won't let anyone tackle him. It takes more than one guy to bring him down, and that's a big change for him, and it's made him a legitimate threat.
All right, so Blake Mann, you'll see him under center, and actually we got penalty flags there, so the Jasper offensive line doing an outstanding job there of drawing him off. And, again, the Wildcat offensive line, I think, was pretty well still intact as far as the starters with Ashton Sheeter at center. The guards are Tyler Kelly and Quade Pope, number 69. Right tackle is Carson Chanley, and Gus Heichelbeck is number 64. So the Cats gained 5 yards on the penalty, and 2nd and 5 as this time man keeps it. Now he's got room to the outside, and he's off to the races, and it's going to take getting knocked out of bounds by number 21, Julian Johnson. And we got a late penalty flag, too, so Jasper's going to get a break there as man actually went out of bounds right there at the 40-yard line.
And I think that's what they're calling, Craig. They're calling a late hit. He actually ran out of bounds, and he might have been out of bounds about 2 yards before he was hit. And it's just one of those confusing plays for a defensive player. You don't want to let him cut back in and decide not to go out of bounds, but he clearly ran out of bounds, and the Central defenders did have time to stop it. I'm sure they're adrenaline and they're excited for the game too, and I don't think they meant to hurt him, but they definitely were going after him after he was out of bounds.
Right. All right, so that will put the football at the 25-yard line, went out of bounds at the 40, so actually a 23-yard run there. Just underway here at Central Stadium, 11:19 on the clock right now. First quarter action as man's under center again, brings a man in motion, and now he's going to run the option, and he actually lost his footing there as he was hitting the backfield. Now Berger's got nowhere to go, and he's going to lose about 3 on that pitch.
Yeah, and right there is just a good example of what we're going to see tonight. We've kind of caught Central sleeping a little bit early, but on that option to the right side there was nowhere for Caleb to go. They did a nice job. They hit Blake Mann actually as he was pitching, and they did a nice job covering the pitch as well. And that team, they're running like a 3-man front defensively. It looks like a 33, and you have to have athletes to do that. But that just means they have 4 linebackers standing up here, and they're going to come after you.
Yeah, much similar to the Wildcats, and actually have about 5 safeties out there, but a couple of them walk up on defense, and now that's man going to the left side. So the Wildcat offense is moving, other than the option play that lost a few yards, but then man's able to pick up those lost yards and another 3 on top of it.
You know, we've got a couple things going for us this year offensively, Craig, and I've been to most of the games, and first of all and foremost, I love the way our offensive line comes off the ball. They've got some big kids with some good strength, and we come off the ball so quickly, and we get into the defenders, and we drive those legs, and we open up holes. Then you have some talented running backs, and Blake Mann and Dawkins and Berger and Day, and they're just doing a tremendous job.
All right, so man's going to pitch out to the outside, and that's Day this time who gets the pitch, and he gets inside the 20, so puts the Cats in the red zone. He's going to be short of that first down, so it's going to bring up a 4th down situation, about 2 yards he's going to need there.
Isaac Day is just he's a basketball player for us too, and I think he's 5'9", 160 pounds, but he plays a lot bigger than that. He's not afraid to when he's running the ball, he's the one leveling the hit usually, and he runs with his eyes real well and finds holes and cuts back well. He's just a good player.
So this is a big test for the Central defense on a 4th and we'll say 2.5 yards or so, but actually we get a timeout on the field, and Central calls that timeout. So we'll take our first break. Jasper moving, but when we come back, tough 4th down situation here on 18 WJTS. We're back once again here at Central Stadium. Both teams on the field after the timeout there. 9:18 on the clock here. First quarter action. Jasper facing a 4th and about 2.5 yards they need to get to. Actually need to get right to the 15-yard line for that first down. So man under center. Dawkins right him. Now he's got a man in motion. Man's going to run the football, and he actually cuts up field, dives forward, and he will get the spot there. So a nice job there by the quarterback. Oh, did we lose the football, though?
Hey, Craig, it might look like they're spotting him before the line of scrimmage, before the first down marker.
Well, I think we must have recovered the football because they're actually spotting it right there at the the 11-yard line.
Fumbled forward, okay.
Yeah. So, positive yards there. But, that's one thing Coach Lewis has just really been concerned about. I mean, we lost 2 out of 4 fumbles last week, so it's something that really hurt us against Memorial.
Right.
And kind of came back last week. So
yeah, we were 4 touchdowns better than Memorial without the fumbles. I agree with that, yeah.
All right, so man with 1st and 10, ball at the 12-yard line. Dawkins gets it, and he plows forward. And, one point I want to make here, John, is actually I sent you notes for the football game. Javante Madison, he's a Boise transfer, and he's been actually one of their star players, especially on that defensive line, but he also plays a running back position at 250 pounds. He's not in the lineup. I see him on the sideline over here.
When you play against the team, you want to play against their best. So if you're a Jasper coach right now, you have to understand that probably makes you sigh a little bit of relief because the guy is a man. He is a man among boys. He is a monster.
All right, man keeps it this time to the left side, and Play gets closed quickly there. Number 20 making the play was Jacob Mauber, coming up from his linebacker spot. So it's going to leave Jasper about a 3rd and 4 here.
You know, this is a tough offense to teach, I would imagine, Craig. I've never taught it. When I was at Mater Dei, we did not run this. But the thing that is so effective about it, especially when you have an athlete like Blake Mann, is you don't know who's going to get that ball. That's why they call it a triple option. There's multiple options.
Sure.
But Blake does such a nice job of carrying out those fakes, and you never know quite for sure that he's even got the ball in his hands when he turns upfield.
All right, but this time, he is just hit in the backfield. An outstanding defensive play by Aaron Garris, number 7. So he got the penetration there. So the Wildcat kicking team's going to come out here to kick. And Sermersheim, he actually had missed a field goal against Wright. He's been perfect on his extra points and straight through. And this is actually right in the middle of the field. So
about a 5-yard difference from the extra point probably. So I would imagine it's an easy kick for him in normal circumstances.
Right.
Just like shooting a free throw in practice and shooting a free throw in a game. It's different with people in the stands and in the game on the line. But we've got faith in him, and he's a talented kicker. And
all right, so the snap is a little bit high, but he was able to kick it up, and the kick is good. So Jasper gets points on the board from their first possession here. Lead Central 3-0 with 6:48 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching the Wildcats here on 18 WJTS. All right, so we're back once again here at Central Stadium. Sermersheim kicked the field goal, give the Wildcats a 3-0 lead. Wildcats with, I was counting up 9 runs on that drive. We'll count 10-play drive, finishing with 3 points, and actually it's kind of a squib kick there, right into the hands of number 7, Aaron Garris. So Central's going to have outstanding field position here, John.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was supposed to be. I kind of looked up to the last second. I don't know if it was supposed to be an onside or a squib, but it did not appear to be an onside. I think it was a squib going wrong. You definitely don't want to give Central the ball at the close to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, so they'll be 1st and 10 from the 44.
It's a good test for our defense here. You're going to see some real team speed here.
All right, so they give it to Torrey Evans. And Evans, I'll tell you what, he's just been an outstanding football player for this team. He's a senior now, but 454 yards rushing, 9.9 average. And the thing is, with their wing T offense, I mean, they feature multiple backs back there. We talked about Madison. He's not playing tonight, but Bob Berg, number 20, and Diaz, number 3, also will get some carries in the backfield.
And they're all legitimate big play threats. They've all got the great speed, and they seem to be really tough kids.
All right, so they're trying to throw it out there, and just kind of talk about their quarterback. That's Hurties, Blake Hurties. He's actually a sophomore this year, so kind of some growing pains, obviously, with the sophomore in his first year of varsity action. 10 of 25, so he's only completed 40% of his passes, but it's been for 339 yards, an average of almost 34 yards per completion, so they like to throw it downfield when they do chuck it.
He's a good athlete. He was a varsity basketball player as a freshman, too, and his dad was Rick Hurtis, the longtime head coach at the University of Southern Indiana. So he comes from an athletic family and a sports-minded family, and he's going to be really good the next couple of years.
All right, so the pitch goes in the outside, and actually nice job by the Wildcats trying to see the numbers. Oh, that's Sheeter. Usually it's Sheeter involved, but also Lance Dawkins, who's getting a defensive start tonight. And so they're pretty well forcing a 3-and-out unless Central decides to go for it here. So Central, of course, like you mentioned, at top with the Wildcats, and then also Evansville North. They're on top of the conference as well. But early gamble here by Sean Coltis, unless he's going to try to draw them off because they're inside of 5 yards. They need 4 yards, but nope, they go for it, and so they actually give it. And the Cats, I think, this is going to be really close where the spot is.
Looks like they're spotting it short.
I agree. I think they are, yes, because they had to get right to the 46-yard line, and they got a mark between the 46 and the 47 there, John.
I don't see any reason to measure it. I mean, you can just see it clearly. They may do it just to be cautious, but it was a stop.
They did. All right, so the Wildcat defense, both teams have faced fourth down situations. The Wildcats converted there. And on a 4th and 4, Central goes for it, and Jasper stops it. So a great job by the defense there for the Wildcats, and now the offense will be on the field for their second possession.
Yeah, that's good news for our defense, because our defense has got a lot of work for them tonight, and we don't want them on the field all night long. And to be 4 plays and done right there and to be off and resting again is a good thing, because there's a long time to go in this game, and we want to put Central's defense on the field. We want to wear them down and make them have to work to stop.
And that's the thing. I mean, this Central offense, they put up 62 points, 57, and last week against Wrights, 57 in that game.
They haven't had a game yet except for against Evansville Memorial, and Memorial is one of their big rivals.
So the triple option this time, pitch is out on the option, and I believe that was Day who got the pitch there, and he's able to get positive yardage into Central territory there at about the 48-yard line, so we'll call that a pickup of about 5.
You know, we talked about it with Dawkins a minute ago, but as a running back, you want to always be able to beat one guy, and if there's more than one guy, you want to at least get 1 or 2 more yards out of it if you can. And Isaac Day, he's not the biggest kid on the field, but he is dog tough, and he's always able to get positive yards out of something, and that was a nice effort on his part there.
All right, so Berger comes in motion this time, but actually, oh, what a pop right there. I'll tell you, number 22, Gavin Kelly came up and just really leveled the quarterback, number 5 man, and so that's going to be a loss of about 2 on that play.
Central had that well covered. We faked the dive, and the dive man was hit. He kept the ball, and then he was hit, and there was no one to pitch to. The pitch man was covered, so Central has this well scouted, and they actually have the team speed to be able to deal with it.
All right, so ball right there at midfield and 50-yard line. 4:08 to go here. First quarter action. Jasper's up 3-0. We got a 3rd down and 7 here. Now Cat's looking to throw for the first time. Now he's going to be flush out of the pocket, and look at the quickness coming after him. And actually, he's going to be sacked there. So making another play, Jacob Bobberg right there. And if anything, John, what that's showing is that Central's got a lot of quickness on this defense.
Unbelievably fast. One of the fastest defensive teams I've seen in a lot of years. You know, and we're not a passing team, and so we're in a passing situation there, and Blake was forced out of the pocket, and he has to scramble. And our receivers are really, from what I was watching, didn't really run a secondary route. They ran their original route, and they weren't open, and they kind of stopped. When your quarterback's scrambling, you've got to move to an open spot and give him someone to throw to, and we certainly did not do that. And Blake really did a nice job even getting what he did out of it. He could have been sacked, and he got back up to the line of scrimmage at least.
All right, so Mann's actually kicking to the sideline. He kicks it way out into the track there, so that's not going to be a very long punt. We'll see where the official eyes it.
Well, I'm sure he was told not to punt it to their return man, but probably not quite that far out of bounds. So
he's still going up. Look at that. He's going to stop at the 39, so.
Got a 15-yard punt, maybe.
Yeah. All right, so again, Central with outstanding field position. The Wildcats were able to stop him on a 4th down play. So again, both these defenses have been very solid this year. You know, the Wildcats give up about 6 points a game on average. They've had 1 shutout. Central's had a couple shutouts against Mater Dei and also against Boise. Did give up 20 points against Wrights last week. The get is Boberg straight up, so again, their north and south runner is Javante Madison, 250-pound fullback that they love to use in those type of running situations, but he's not available tonight.
I think the key for our defense tonight is to contain. We probably are not going to shut these guys out tonight, Craig, but we don't want to give up easy plays. We don't want to give up 40, 50-yard runs for touchdowns and make it easy for them. Everything that Central scores tonight, we have to make them earn. And because if we get into just a shootout with them, we're going to have problems.
All right, so 2nd down. Play action. Now he's looking to the opposite side, and he's got a man wide open. That's Evans, and trying to time it right there was Albrand, but Evans was able to haul it in, and he is into Wildcat territory all the way to the 39-yard line.
Well, Jack Albrand is the cornerback on the close side here, and his man ran a post route, and Jack went with him, and I'm not down there. I don't know the coverage. I don't know if it was a zone or Jack, but Jack did leave the guy that ran the post, and he was picked up by a safety, and Jack came back just in the nick of time and made a heck of a hit but the guy did a nice job of hanging on to it. So I think we're playing a cover 3, it looks like, and that's Jack's zone, so he needs to hang tight a little closer to that zone.
All right, so they're actually going to throw a second time, and now this time Hurtis just hauls it out there, and he has a man, but just overthrows him into the end zone. So he had it intended for Camden Counts. Counts is actually their leading receiver with 5 receptions, 179 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And I think the Wildcats got a little bit of a break there.
Central's doing a nice job right now. They're trying to break us up a little bit. They've been running the ball. We've been keyed on the run, and now they're going to make us a little shaky, make us back up a little bit, and anticipate that pass a little bit more, and maybe open things up for the running game. But
all right, so 2nd down and 10, stops the clock at 1:54. 3rd straight pass. Now this time he's able to connect on a quick screen out to Counts, and Counts is able to make a move there and get close to the 30-yard line. Well, actually they'll spot it at about the 33, but pickup of 6 or 7.
Who's our defensive end over there, Craig? Was that Connor?
I'm trying to see. I don't know if it's Connor or, yeah, that is Connor Foley over there, number 89.
He was so close to getting a deflection there. It's hard for me to read these gold numbers that we have from up here.
I've been complaining about that on every road game so far this year.
But he came across real nice there, and that was just a quick pass, quick out to the wide out on that side. I mean, Connor had to have nicked it with his finger. He was so dang close to it. That would have been a nice defensive stop.
So we'll call it 6 yards on the play. Now they give it to Loberg straight up, and look at the pile move, and he's going to get the 1st down yardage as he gets inside the 30 to the 28, so a pickup of 6.
You get the sense that Central's woken up a little bit, that their adrenaline has kicked a little bit, and I don't know if they felt like that this game was going to be easy or something, but they came out a little bit complacent, and now they're playing with a little bit more heart than their line surge is good. They're running hard. They've completed a nice play for a big pass completion, and they're doing some positive things here on us now.
All right, so this time on the sweep to the outside.
Nice.
Cats are able to get there. I think that's Sheeter who came up from, no, I take that back. It was number 58, Jacob Potts, coming up, doing a nice job stopping that play before it went for too much. He only picked up about 2.
Did a really nice job pursuing that from the outside, and Blake Mann came from safety position over there being on the tackle as well. May probably got an assist. Just tells you how much ground he can cover.
All right, so 2nd down. We're at 11 seconds on the game clock right now. We'll see if they get this play underway.
Yeah, we're definitely in a cover 3 pass coverage, a 3 deep zone.
So 2nd straight carry for Diaz. Plays a slot position, but ran the ball in a sweep on the first play, and now a counter play that time. And we're going to come to the end of the 1st quarter. Jasper kicked a field goal on their first drive down the field. That's where the score stands right now, 3-0 Jasper over Central here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the last run by Diaz actually lost a yard or so it's now 3rd and 9. 2nd quarter action. Pitch out. That's Evans. He's got some room. Cuts inside, makes a move. He's going to get close to the 10-yard line. They're actually saying he was down right there at about the 11, so a big pickup there of 18 on that 3rd down play.
I believe it was number 2 for us, Ross Peter on the outside. He's an aggressive player, doing a heck of a job this year, but he took a little bit of a bad angle, and when you do that against a guy with speed, they can often make you pay for it. We've got to find a way to turn that ball back inside where you have help.
And actually tonight is senior night for the Central Bears. So Torrey Evans is a senior. He's going to want to put on a good show for last chance to play here. And now straight up, that's actually another senior carrying the football, and that's Jacob Boberg. Met by a Wildcat defender and brought straight down, but he picks up about 4.
That was a little trap action on the for the Central line there. Back in the day, we'd have called it a 22 trap. I don't know what it's called anymore, some kind of counter, but they trapped the first guy past the ball there and had a nice little hole.
Puts him inside the 10. Need to get to about the 3 or the 2 to get a 1st down. So there's Evans, and look at that shifty move, and he makes it cut and gets right into the end zone for the touchdown. So Evans puts Central on the board for the first time tonight with an 8-yard run.
Well, they see something they like up the middle because those last 2 plays went up the gut. And they weren't dives, they were counter plays. And I think they're doing a nice job of getting our linebackers to commit one way, and they're cutting back against the grain and going the other.
All right, so celebration fireworks are being shot right now as Central takes the lead 6-3. Now on for the extra point is Stephen Pritchett, number 10. Good snap, good kick. And the Central Bears lead the Jasper Wildcats with 10:57 to go here in the second quarter, 7-3 here on 18 WJTS. So the Central Bears lead the Jasper Wildcats 7-3 as they're set to kick off. Actually on that drive, opened up with like 3 pass plays, a big 21-yard hook up to Evans, kind of set things up, and then.
Well, Central showed how scary they are because they can score so quickly. They have so many weapons.
Look at Berger making a move on the kickoff. He's across midfield. Outstanding run, so that gives Jasper great field position. So, again, and that's the thing. Whenever you have these special teams, punts, kickoffs, and everything else, you want to get into your best weapons. Obviously, Berger's one of the Wildcats' fastest runners out there.
Well, he was the best player in his class in middle school. In his freshman year, he played, and he was hurt. And he didn't play again until this year. And
right.
I think he's just now getting his legs underneath him. He's just now getting his confidence back. And I know his dad would be proud of him. I know he's watching. But, Caleb's a good athlete. He's crafty, and he's smart, and he's competitive. And that was a heck of a run to give us nice field position.
So the Cats 1st and 10, right at midfield. 10:48 on the clock. They trail 7-3. Berger comes in motion, but they actually run. Oh, there's nobody to pitch to, and he tries to pitch it out. Now there's Evans. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to take it all the way for the score. So he picked up that football right around the 40-yard line. So we'll say a 40-yard return there, but actually Berger went in motion in the opposite way, but they both the fullback and the quarterback went to the left side, so there was just confusion all over the field there.
Well, first of all, there probably should have been a flag before the play. We had a legal procedure, and it wasn't called. Our wing on the right side hopped, and the Central coaches went nuts over it, but there was no call, and then Blake Mann went left, and I don't know who was wrong. Like you said, the backs went one way, the quarterback went the other. But yeah, Blake turns the pitch to nobody, obviously, and that's you definitely can't afford those today.
Right. Yeah, because usually in that situation, if the whole play is going to go to the left, then it would be Day on the opposite side that would probably come into motion, unless Berger was supposed to switch back, because a lot of times they'll run that motion, stop in the backfield, and then run the opposite way. Yeah. So, all right, so Central pops it through for the extra point, and leads Jasper 14-3 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the last 2 touches have been by Torrey Evans. He had an 8-yard touchdown run. Then after the kickoff, the last 2 offensive touches, but one was on the defensive side for Evans. And now Berger's going to get another opportunity. He had a great run back last time. Now he's slowed up a little bit, but still there. Now he gets away and gets across the 30-yard line, and a penalty flag flies. So Central's had that flag thrown over on that sideline earlier in the football game that gave Jasper 15 yards. We'll see which one, see if we get the same call here.
Looks like it's a late hit, yes. That's going to help.
So it's almost identical field position.
Right.
If he's going to go 15 yards, he marched that, I think, from about the 31-yard line, and he'll take it to the 46. So great field position again for the Wildcats, just can't put the ball on the field.
Well, we talked earlier that we can't give Central anything, that we have to make them earn everything, and that turnover for a touchdown is an example of that. We definitely don't need to panic here. We need to eat some clock, score a touchdown, get back in the game. You get 3, 4, 5 touchdowns down against Central, and you're going to have a heck of a time getting back in it. So the important thing is to execute here and get us some points on the board.
Now they run it to the right side, and he gets across midfield, so Mann picks up 5 on that first down play.
It's just like pulling teeth to get anything against a defense like this. And I think that's the good thing about playing the schedule we've played. We've played some really good teams already this year. In Mater Dei, we beat them 28-14, but they fought us and they hit us and made us better. And that's what Central's doing. But we're seeing a whole new ball game tonight. We're playing against the defense that just flies to the ball. And you think you've got a couple yards, and all of a sudden you've got 4 guys on top of you, and they're just that caliber of a team.
All right, so actually man's all alone on this one. He did not give to the fullback, but he had nobody to pitch to that time, and I think he's going to lose a yard there. So I'll tell you, just having a football game all across the board is Torrey Evans tonight as he makes that tackle.
Yep, and this is it's not time. Obviously, you don't want to scrap what's made you 5-0 and what's got you to this point, but at some point you're probably thinking, if you're Tony Lewis, you may have to get a little creative, put the ball in the air a little bit and try some different things, because we're not getting very far with some of the triple option stuff. So.
All right, so 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 here as the left-handed quarterback rolls to his left. He's going to have to pull up, and now he chucks it across there, and he's got Foley. I'll tell you what, right in his face was number 20, Jacob Bobberg. Foley makes the catch, and it looks like he's right at the marker.
I don't know what the flag is, but they flew a flag right on top of the catch, and I don't know if it's a defensive hold maybe.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah, so that's a big, and that's a loss of down too. So that 3rd down play counts. They'll move him back 5.
I wonder who that would have been.
Yeah, I didn't quite see there. So.
But it was a nice job by Blake Mann getting rid of the ball. Nice catch by Connor Foley, and he actually got 1st down yardage out of it. And the guy that tackled Connor Foley actually didn't get up, so that tells you the kind of strength that Connor has.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it came back. We're gonna have to punt this one.
Right. Yeah. So going back 5 makes it 4th and 11. So the Wildcat punt team comes out, and again, Mann's got that pass run option usually, but in this situation, absolutely not. But they're not actually dropping Evans back to receive. That's counts number 6. Waiting for the football at about the 26-yard line right now. 8:55 on the clock right now. Now Mann's going to punt it.
Good punt.
And counts will let it roll. See if it slows down, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. So Central have it at the 20-yard line. So offensively, they march down the field on their last possession and give them a 7-3 lead. Then the Wildcats on the pitch on the option with nobody there, picked up by Torrey Evans. He runs about 40 yards or so for the touchdown to make it 14-3. So Jasper 3 and out and a punt there.
Well, momentum has definitely shifted, and the only way I know to get it back is to dig in defensively here and put some hits on the ball and get them and force a punt. We just cannot afford to give up a quick score here again to Central, and things could get ugly in a hurry.
So Boberg in the backfield, but they actually give it on the outside handoff there. I was trying to see, was that 22 or 23 actually carrying the football, and that's Jordan Casinger.
I wish I could give you some numbers for tackles there, too.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I should have brought my binoculars. It's dark out here, and we're a little bit distant, and those gold numbers are I just cannot see them, and I'm sorry, Craig.
And speaking of distancing, social distancing over there on the Wildcats side, the way they have it set up in Evansville, the home team gets 500 tickets. The visiting team gets 250. When we played Wrights earlier, it was 250 for both sides as he hits counts over there on the outside. And Cats are good job. And the ball goes on the field and looks like Blake Mann. No, I take that back. They're going to say he was down.
He never made a call.
Wow, I agree, man. Oh. Actually, that was Day who picked up at football, but they're going to say he's down, so the play counts, and it's a 5-yard gain.
He may very well have been down, but this official right on top of it never indicated, did he?
No.
Yeah.
So Central gets a break there. So it's a 3rd down and 5 from the 25. Counts is going to split to the far side. 2 men in the backfield. Now the quarterback's going to want to throw. He's looking to the middle of the field, and that's Evans that he's looking for. Mann is there, and he jumps and kind of mistimed it there. Mann, good coverage over there. And then also, that was Peter, who pretty well had him one-on-one. I think it's Peter. Or is that?
No.
No, sorry. Again, number situation. It's Ian Giesler, actually, who was one-on-one, but he got some help from the safety there. But Evans wasn't able to corral it in.
Okay.
So Evans is actually hobbled there. He's actually right there at the 40-yard line being tended to by one of the trainers.
Forcing Central to punt after 3 is a big deal for us right now. We need to get some momentum here.
Ooh, close there for Maringer. Maringer's been outstanding in special teams all year, and so the Wildcat bounce will roll all the way. It keeps going, so Central gets a benefit there as it stops at the 30-yard line. So 14-3 is our score. Central leads the Jasper Wildcats. 7:02 on the clock, and John, I thought we might have a great opportunity for pretty good field position there, but ball rolls to the 30, but the Wildcats are just going to have to get an offensive drive going here.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet there. I thought that we did a nice job of regrouping, and we're down 14-3, and Central was rolling, and we did a nice job defensively there, getting a big stop. And the way to keep it going our way, obviously, is to put a little drive together here and get some points.
All right, so Blake Mann under center. See if we can get Dawkins going on this drive. But Mann's going to keep it. And he sees an opening. Right. So a little bit of delay right there at the line of scrimmage, but then powers forward and then races 12 yards on the run.
It was a good read. I think one of the things you talk to a running back or even a quarterback who runs the ball about is run with your eyes. You know, you don't want to run into the defender. You don't want to run into the guy blocking for you. You want to keep those eyes open and look for that hole, look for that seam, look for that place to cut back. And Blake did a nice job there. He delayed just a second, saw that gap and hit it. Got him a nice 11-yard gain out of it. Good athlete, good decision.
Ball spotted at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, but a flag flies. And Mann's actually still on his feet. Now he's going to race to the outside, gets across the 30 to the 20, knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line, but I think this play's coming back.
We had multiple guys in motion there.
So Jasper already lost a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. Now a penalty will bring back a huge gain there.
It's a similar situation to that defensive touchdown. We actually had guys in illegal motion during that play, and it wasn't called. And they ended up getting a touchdown out of it. And this time we had a big gain that was called back, unfortunately. But it was an absolutely correct call.
So that would have been a 43-yard run that's negated.
You know, Coach Lewis talked in the paper this week, and he talked on the radio today, and I heard him, and I know he's not talking to his team about being disciplined and cutting down on mistakes. So I'm sure that one right there upsets him because that negated a heck of a run.
All right, so 1st and 15 after the penalty. Counterplay. I believe that's Day who got the football there, and he's able to muscle his way for about a 6-yard gain. Yeah.
Once again, Isaac Day's been a nice workhorse for this team, and he always gets something out of it. He always gets positive yards, keeps those legs driving. And what helps some of these other guys like Berger and Day and Dawkins is defensively you have to key so hard on Blake Mann because he's such a playmaker. And he can break the big one real quickly, and it opens up things for these other guys a little bit.
All right, so 2nd down and 8. Luke Dawkins is actually out there. Now Mann's going to get it. Now he's going to get an outside running room, and now he was met right there. Evans was able to stop him, but a big play. That's going to pick up, let's see, 16. We'll call it a 21-yard run.
Is that Tiori and Evans on the tackle again? There?
Yes.
I tell you what, he's a heck of a player for them, but we're also making him work. He's had the ball in his hands a lot. He's playing a lot of defense, and he got up a little slow there, so it's a long game.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, Central coach Sean Coltis was kind of concerned that his team really hasn't been tested, and you know, as far as conditioning, he mentioned that in one of the articles that I read about the football game versus Tony Lewis is very confident in Jasper team as far as their conditioning. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if that comes into play here in this football game. So right now we're going to take a break. 5:06 to go. Central leads 14-3 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Jasper Wildcats 1st and 10 after the 21-yard run. And Central calls their 2nd timeout on defense, and I don't know if they're suffering from a little fatigue. As Dawkins gets it, now he powers and is met right there at the 30-yard line, trying to wrestle the football away from him as Camden counts, but Dawkins hangs on to it and picks up a nice 5-yard run.
Dawkins is the old throwback fullback. He's John Riggins or Larry Zonka.
That's what I called him the first game this year.
He's not real nifty-footed. If he doesn't shuffle step well or move out of into a lane real well. But when he gets a full head of steam, he's just a load to bring down. And so sometimes in those situations he just needs to commit and get 2 or 3 more yards. But he is a workhorse.
So actually, Luke Dawkins is playing one of the slots. So Berger's out of the game right now. So there's Mann. Couldn't tell who had the football initially, but Mann's dancing around there and picks up just 1 on that play.
We were mentioning Central's conditioning and their ability to play both ways and play an entire game being challenged, which they haven't been this year. And that's going to be key for us as well because Blake's playing both sides. We have several guys playing both sides of the ball, and we depend on Mann so much offensively for running the ball and decision making, and then he's got to go and play free safety for us and do the same thing, and that wears on you throughout the course of a game.
Cats are able to get a jump over there on the right side of Central, but now straight forward, that's Dawkins.
All right.
Gets across the 20, so a big pickup there. So we'll call it a 10-yard run to the 19.
And a little bonus there once again. Evans, number 2, Teorian Evans for Central. He was in on the tackle. Once again, he got up slowly. Lance delivered a blow to him because he's also playing that safety spot. And what you're hoping throughout the course of a game, just like a boxing match, that those blows eventually wear you out.
Right.
So he is not as fresh as he was early in the game.
So there goes Dawkins to the left side. Keeps moving forward. He gets down to the 12-yard line. They actually spotted that last run at the 18, so the Cats pick up 6 on that run.
Yeah, just when I said Lance wasn't real nifty-footed, he actually showed some of it there. He cut back real nice. He probably got at least 2, if not 3 extra yards on a nice little cutback. He could have lowered his head and went straight ahead, and he cut back just enough to get a couple extras. Running with your eye is a good read for him. Also with a good hole on the left side of that line, twice in a row now by that offensive line.
Dawkins, another run, right side. And he's going to be real close to the marker there. The far line judge has maybe got him about a half-yard short, so that's going to set up a 3rd down. 2:35 on the clock right now. So
I love what Coach Lewis is doing. He's taking a little bit of the heat off of Blake right now. Dawkins is running well. They're having a hard time stopping. Our line's blocking well. And he's taking some of those hits off of Blake Mann for a few plays, and that's huge.
Well, the 500 fans in attendance tonight for Central are fired up on this 3rd down situation here. Mann, though, cuts back and then races forward, dives into the end zone for the touchdown. So Blake Mann needed 1, but he needed 9 to get in the end zone, and that's what he got. So a 9-yard run for the quarterback.
Outstanding effort, outstanding read. Once again, a great job by the offensive line. Nice surge, staying with your blocks, giving Blake a chance to find that hole and hit it, and Blake did a nice job getting the ball in the end zone, which you wouldn't expect anything less. So now all of a sudden you have Central second-guessing themselves. They have not been in a game this year. They've not had anyone challenge them.
All right, so Sermersheim stays perfect on the season, kicks it through, and Jasper gets their first touchdown of the night, makes it a 14-10 game with 2:07 to go here in the first half. You're watching the Cats here on 18 WJTS. In the first half, Jasper with the touchdown makes it 14-10. Craig Schneider and Coach John Gable, along with Jeremy Marcos, bringing the action here on 18 WJTS. And, John, we were talking just right during the break. Central's looking a little winded out there.
Well, like we talked about, Craig, they're a heck of a football team. They're talented. They're 5-0 for a reason, and they're one of the best teams in Southern Indiana. But they have not been challenged yet this year. They've won 21-0, 62-0. Memorial gave them a fight at 21-10, but the outcome was never in question, and there was never really any pressure on them. That's a big rivalry of theirs. And 55-7, 57-20. Now it looks like they may have to play 4 quarters, and we'll see how they're able to do that.
Well, actually, a squib kick was a benefit for the Wildcats this time, as number 84, Luke Pokerney, had a tough time picking that up. So Central have the football at the 32-yard line. They've been throwing the football a little bit tonight and had some success. But, again, that's not a big part of their game, obviously, with a quarterback who was only completing 40% of his passes coming into tonight.
Yeah, but if you're going to run the ball, the best way to do it successfully is to be able to loosen the defense up with a few passes. And Hurtis has a nice arm. And our defensive backs have done a nice job out there tonight, Mann and Allbrand and the crew.
All right, so another quick pitch out there. That's what they've been trying to do, is getting the ball in the Count's hand. And Allbrand came up, wasn't able to make the stop, so he got away from him and got close to the first down marker. Might be just a little bit short there.
Yeah, I think it was Allbrand assisted by, would that be a Grant Maringer? Am I seeing that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's got some quickness to him as well, but once again, they got 9 yards out of the deal before we were able to get to him. So,
all right, so he is going to be short a yard there. So clock is running. He did not get out of bounds there. So 131. Curtis looks to throw. Now he's going to chuck it out there, and it's a one-on-one situation there, and the ball falls incomplete. Giesler was right there. The ball was a little bit short, intended for counts. So that was kind of a jump ball situation there, and good job defensively to knock it away.
I'm sorry, who was our defender on that play?
That was Giesler, number 16.
Okay. It's hard for me to, okay, Ian Giesler, 16. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to the players and
yeah.
knowing them by their numbers because you can't really see them. So
yeah, defended really, really well.
Absolutely. All right, so now a third down. So Central needs the first. That stopped the clock at 1:24. Quick quarterback sneaks straight up, and Jasper's still battling, but they're going to give him forward progress of about 3 yards or so. So the ball will be spotted at a 44-yard line, but that stops the clock briefly for the first down markers. They haven't indicated yet, so the markers haven't moved.
Well, one of the things about high school football is that so few programs have a very effective 2-minute drill where you're able to understand how to throw the ball to the outs and get out of bounds and stop the clock effectively. And so Central's really in a position right here. They're hoping to break a long run or to have a shot at the end zone with a long pass. I don't think that they're looking at short hitches or anything like that to stop they're going long here.
So play action, they throw it to the outside, and that's Evans. He comes over their shoulder and hauls that in. Giesler knocks him out of bounds, but he's going to be at the 37-yard line, so a big play there.
Giesler and Ross Peter there didn't do too bad of a job defending that. Curtis just did an outstanding job putting that ball right where it had to be. Went over one and in front of the other. They had him sandwiched in there, but he ran a nice route. It was a play action pass, almost a bootleg.
So we'll call it 20 yards on the play. It stops the clock as he got out of bounds there at 50.2 seconds. 14-10's our score. Central moving.
It's still a long way to go in 50 seconds, so we just got to keep our composure here.
Evans quickly gets through the line of scrimmage, then lowers his head and gets across the 30, so a nice run there. Picks up 7.
That Evans for the Terry and Evans, another number 2, reminds me a lot of Isaac Day, and he's not a big kid at all, but he always gets positive yards and he's always delivering the blow.
Now they get to the counts to the outside, and so the Cats are able to pick it up and gets knocked out of bounds. They're going to actually say stop the clock there rather than forward progress, so he gets out of bounds at the 20.
I'm not sure what that was. It looked like we left an uncovered receiver. Jack Allbrand was defending on the play, and he was out wide. Or he was off the ball about 10 yards, and there was no one hard covering the wide out. I'm sure trying to keep him in front of us, but same thing here. There's no one hard covering the wide out. We've got a linebacker cheated out there in a corner. They're going to do the same thing over here.
Yeah, this time Giesler is able to get up there and slow him up, and a little bit of help there by Peter. So the clock's going to continue to run. We're down to 10 seconds right now, 9 seconds. Central's got one timeout. I guess they're going to try to run a play, but 4, 3, and finally they call the timeout. So I think they wanted to try to get at least one more offensive play. And that was a situation where there was plenty of time there, John. You call that timeout, you at least get, one shot to the end zone, and if it falls incomplete, then you can kick your field goal. But I think a little mismanagement on the clock right there.
It looked like they had 2 plays called maybe, and he wanted them to hurry up and run that second play. But I agree with you, that timeout could have been called a little sooner, and they'd have a chance to throw to that end zone a little bit.
All right, so we'll take a quick break here. 2.6 to go here in the first half. Central, when we come back, we'll have the football at the 15 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so Central sends out Stephen Pritchett, number 10. They're lining this football right at the 22-yard line, so a 32-yard attempt. 2.6 on the clock. Central with a 4-point lead, 14-10, looking to make it 7. Snap is perfect. Kick straight up, and the kick is straight through. So Central is able to march down the field and get more points on the board after the Jasper Wildcat touchdown run by Blake Mann, and makes it 17-10 after one half of play here. So, John, obviously, Central kind of got a break on the fumble recovery that Evans returned for the touchdown. So, they know they kind of get a little bonus touchdown there, but that's the difference in the game right now.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Lewis has to talk about at halftime. In my mind, is really overall we've done a tremendous job. We've given up one touchdown. The defense has.
Right.
That was a tough field goal from a tough angle. They just kicked there right there into the half, kept them out of the end zone there. And then the other touchdown we handed to them. So being down 17-10 after handing them one is a pretty good compliment to us. And we knew it would be tough. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. So we're disappointed that we're losing, but at the same time, we understand that we're good enough to win this game and cut it down on those couple of miscues and mistakes, and we are winning the game.
Well, one thing, too, is that Central is using the pass to kind of get downfield. Actually, on that last drive there, 3 pass plays. One went for 9 yards, one went for 20 to Evans. But, it's just those quick little wide-out screens that he's just throwing right there at the line of scrimmage, and he's able to connect with Counts there. So Cats are going to have to really make those plays when the corners come up to try to make those tackles.
And that's what makes playing defense so tough, is because you have to be able to defend everything. With a team like Central, you have to watch the pass, you have to watch the screen, the draw, the sweep, the run, the reverse. I mean, everything that you can call, Central can execute because they've got athletes everywhere. And even those quick outs, like you said, when we saw there going into that last field goal, you just get to an uncovered receiver, you give him just a quick hit, a quick pass, and he does the rest of the work. And when you're one-on-one, if you're a Jack Albrand playing cornerback, and you're one-on-one with a receiver who's really running that caliber in the open field, that's a lot of pressure, and that's a tough stop. And that makes Central very, very, very difficult and very dangerous.
Right. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we'll take a halftime break here. Central leads 17-10 here on 18 WJTS. Wildcats right now trailing Central 17-10 in a football game that's pretty well even when you look at it, especially with the numbers here. This is Craig Schneider along with Coach John Gable and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And offensive plays, both teams have run 24 offensive plays. Central with 128 yards, Jasper with 125 yards. So, again, that's a real indicator here is how tight this football game has been. The main difference was just kind of a gimme touchdown that the Wildcats gave Torrey Evans, 47-yard fumble recovery on an option pitch where there was nobody there. So that is the difference in this football game. Both teams have kicked field goals as well. But, but the main thing, the Wildcats, John, 24 carries for 125 yards. We've not completed a pass yet tonight. We had one play that got called back, but, against Central, kind of surprising, 74 passing yards, and they were 7-11, so they actually ran 11 pass plays. So that's really the difference as far as the offenses tonight.
Yeah, well, we run a triple threat offense, but Central also runs something similar. They run it's a T, it's a wing, double wings with wide outs, but they have a fourth threat, and they're a pretty good passing team. And that Hurtis kid has a really nice arm, and so does our guys. So Blake Mann has a nice arm too. It's just not in our DNA right now. It's not something we do as a team. So I think that's why it's really important that we come out and start this second half strong, because playing catch up against a team like Central and not being able to throw the ball effectively would make that really, really tough task. So hope we come out confident, hope we come out excited, and I think we get the ball first here, right?
Actually, we were kicking off.
I'm sorry, we're kicking off, okay.
So Central will get the football back. So they actually took advantage of the extra score there right before halftime with the field goal, a 32-yard field goal kick by Stephen Pritchett. But now I'm going to ask you to put your coaching hat on here, and it looked like Jasper actually took as much time as they needed for the halftime. So Coach Tony Lewis, is it a situation, when you're in a tight football game like this and two teams that are pretty even, what kind of message are you giving your team at halftime?
Well, in a game like this, I would actually be after him a little bit, because I think it's easy to get to the – you don't want to ever get to a point and say, hey, we're in the game. It's close because, cut back on a few mistakes and we're winning the game. And I think that's what he's probably trying to tell his guys is if we are just a little bit sharper, execute a little bit more, hold on to the ball a little bit better, and tackle a little better, block a little better, execute a little bit better offensively, and we're winning the game. And so we shouldn't be happy right now that we've kept it close in the first half. We should be disappointed that we're not winning, and we should see that we're good enough to win this game and go out and win it.
Now, do you think there's many halftime adjustments made as far as with the game plan?
I'm not a Delaware T guy, so I wouldn't know what that would be offensively.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is maybe talking about putting the ball in the air a little bit. But at the same time, we've put up 10 points and we've moved the ball steadily pretty well.
Right.
So you don't want to just scrap everything you've been doing either. You just want to make sure you don't give Central quick scores and give them easy scores. And we've done that once tonight, and we can't afford to do it again. But as far as changing whole scale, I don't think the game plan's far off. We've shot ourselves in the foot.
All right, so the Wildcats will be kicking off to the Central Bears, and actually Leonard's out there to kick it off. But again, we keep it down, and they're going to get a return this time. He's running east and west instead of north and south, then finally turns upfield, but still outstanding field position. So I know you're trying to keep it out of Evans' hands and also Counts over there, but still, you can't give him the football every time at around the 35, 40, 45-yard line.
Well, unfortunately, I think if we kicked it deep, that would be the end result anyway, and maybe worse. So I think you just kind of kick your losses. There's trade-offs in everything you do.
Yeah.
And in exchange for not putting them in the end zone, we're giving them a little bit better field goal position. But you're right, we need to get them down inside the 30.
All right, so Evans, actually take that back. It's Diaz who runs the football there, so he gains. Actually, he gets right back to the line of scrimmage. He took that handoff about 2 or 3 yards deep there, so we'll call it a 2nd and 10.
Really nice job of defensive end Connor Fuller there, turning that play back inside, and we had a linebacker come in out of the middle there, put on a really nice hit.
That's typically Ashton Sheeter
and I just couldn't get his number in time.
All right, so again, that play's working for Central, so you might as well keep going for it. So Peter comes up and makes the stop, knocks him out of bounds, but another pickup of about 5 or 6 on that little wide out screen.
Yeah, and it was earlier on the hit. It was Ashton Sheeter. Absolutely right on the last play. So we've got them 3rd and 5 now, and you can anticipate a pass here. They've had some success at it tonight, and I don't expect that they're going to try to run here. They're going to, they're changing the play at the line. Coach is changing from the sideline to the line of scrimmage.
So play clock down to 7 right now. And they give it to Evans. He delays a little bit, looking for the hole to open up. And if Jasper can close down, and they actually do, so.
Great job.
Good patience. The running back tried to show some patience, but good patience by the defense to kind of just wait for him to make his move before they finally tackle him. He maybe picks up a yard on that run.
Yeah, outstanding discipline by the backside of that defense. It was a counter back to the left side there, and our defense on that backside didn't bite. They didn't take a bad angle and chase after the ball. They stayed home, and they stopped the heck of an athlete. That.
All right, so Central will punt the football. Day's back to return it. Oh man, and Maringer almost got there. I don't think we had an all-out block on for that particular play, but he almost got there anyway. But look at the roll. We'll stop right around the 13-yard line. So the Wildcat offense will come back out, and Blake Mann actually led the Wildcats with 69 yards rushing. Lance Dawkins had 40 in the first half, but I think just the play-action pass has got to open up sometime, and we'll see if the Wildcats attempted much on this drive.
Well, if you don't need it if you're going to execute. And our offensive line, Ashton Sheeter, Gus Heichelbeck, Tyler Kelly, Quade Pope, Carson Chanley, those guys have really done a nice job up in the trenches opening up holes. And if you're going to do that consistently, we can keep the ball on the ground.
All right, so Dawkins gets his typical tough yards there, picks up 4 on that first down play. We'll get it to about the 18-yard line.
Yep. I mean, you have to have patience to run an offense like this. There's no doubt about it. You're not going to have quick hitters very often, And but if you're going to get 5-6 yards a pop, it will work. You're going to eat up clock. You're going to get scores. You're going to wear the defense out. But it's imperative that you don't make mistakes. We cannot have costly turnovers or penalties.
So they give it to Dawkins again. Now he's actually maybe going to lose a yard on that run. So I'm trying to see the Central player that actually got a good wrap on him. Let's see if it's 24 or 34, but regardless, he came up. Actually, number 34 made the play, and that's Isaiah Cooper, one of their leading tacklers coming into the game from his linebacker spot.
Somehow Lance got a yard there, but there was nothing there. He actually got positive yards out of it. So.
All right, so 3rd down and 5. Central went 3 and out and punted. Jasper will have to convert this one. Now Dawkins gets it to the left side, and I think he's got it. Yes, the way they're spotting that football, he gets to the 25-yard line, so a big 6-yard run on 3rd down.
Right behind Gus Heichelbeck and Quade Pope on that left side. I mean, there was a hole that I almost probably could have ran through there, Craig. So,
but would you have got through quick enough?
No, I'd be dead right now too, or at least have a broken leg. But
think of your knees. Right?
No, Lance did a great job hitting the hole, but there was a hole there to hit, and that's the whole point. We've got a nice offensive line on the left side there, did a great job.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. There's Dawkins again. Powers. Now he's lowering his shoulder, and he gets across the 35 to about the 37, maybe 38. So a big 1st down run of 14 yards.
And he quite literally, Craig, carried 3 guys another yard there. He had 3 guys on his back when he went out of bounds. And I think that's the maturity that Lance has shown over the last year. Last year he had a nice year, but this year it just seems like he's not content. He's not going down when he's hit. Last year sometimes he'd almost hit that line of scrimmage, you'd already be heading down. This year he's got his eyes up, he's moving forward, he's pounding those legs, and he's getting that extra 2 or 3 yards.
All right, see if the Cats can keep it alive there. And now we got a penalty flag. It's flying as number 1 made the stop. That's Joshua Boberg. But we'll see what the flag's all about.
Looks like they're going to call a hold over here on this left side. Looks like they're calling it on Tyler Kelly maybe, but they threw the flag right on top of him.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the penalty will push the Wildcats back to the 27-yard line. They need to get to the 48, so that's a very costly penalty there. Actually, you look at it, it's about a 12-yard penalty.
Running the ball control wing T offense makes penalties like that very costly. And going 20 yards for a 1st down is a difficult thing in this offense.
Actually, Grant Young's in at quarterback right now. I didn't spot that until he ran the football there, so I'm not sure what the situation is with Blake Mann. So Grant Young with positive run there. He had an outstanding night against Wrights a couple weeks ago, and then actually in a backup role against Harrison, an outstanding night he had there as well. But he's getting the call right here in a big situation. Wildcats here with their first possession of the 2nd half, trailing 17-10.
Well, I don't we don't have any information about what's going on there, but.
All right, so Dawkins goes to the left side, so he's able to pick up another 3. It's going to bring out a 3rd down and long situation here. And Young has thrown the football a little bit this year. He's actually got a touchdown pass earlier. But obviously a passing situation here on 3rd and 12.
Talk about a tough spot for a sophomore to be in.
Right.
He's got some big shoes to fill, replacing Blake Mann for whatever reason that's happened, and he's in the biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah, because he actually had a drive, and I remember there's a 4th down play that he made against Wrights to keep that drive alive. But he's going to have to drop and throw. He's got a man down on the sideline, but actually the safety's right there to pick it off. And he's got a lane there on the outside, and that's actually number 10, who's also their kicker and punter. But playing safety is Stephen Pritchett. He picks that off and races it all the way down to the 34-yard line. So again, Coach Gable just talking about a tough situation for a sophomore there, and play just wasn't there.
Well, he didn't throw a bad ball, though. We had a receiver actually flying open up the sideline, but, Central had the right defense call. They had, it looked like at least, I think it was like covered 2 at least. They had 2 safeties sitting back there, and that safety just had to move a few steps to the left and step right into it. So it was a well-thrown ball, just hung a little bit too long. The ball needs to be in the air a little bit quicker.
All right, so now they try plowing forward there and play straight up the middle. Doesn't gain much. Wildcat defense able to make the stop on Boberg, number 20. But Central already up 17-10, taking advantage of a missed pitch on a option play that Torrey Evans was able to return all the way for a touchdown, 47 yards. Now another turnover here, an interception sets them up, and they're going to be second down from the 33.
Who has replaced Blake at 3 safety back there?
I think it's Berger, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So he threw across the middle on an interception.
Nice job.
There we go. So the Cats come right back with a big play, and that is Grant Maringer, number 1. So he read it perfectly, threw right into the middle of the field. He was coming from the opposite side there and just ran across the middle of the field, read the eyes of the quarterback, and made a great play.
Great play and great response by our defense. And things looked like they were at our darkest, and we were going to give up another score here. Made a great defensive play, got a big turnover. I think it's a sign of character for our team, Craig. I think it's a sign of a very competitive team, the team that knows how to win.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the Wildcats really needed a play there because Central goes in and scores. It'd be tough for the Wildcats. Down 2 touchdowns. We played half of the third quarter. A little over 6 minutes on the clock right now. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 21. So Dawkins, and again, he's just going to have a workmanlike effort for the rest of the night if Blake Mann's not able to come back into this football game.
Right, he's going to have to do he's going to have to carry a lot of the load right here, I guess literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But it looks like, from what I'm hearing, there's some sort of injury they're tending to on the sideline, but not getting an indication of how serious it is right now.
Yeah, because it was actually in that Wrights game, he had some problems with cramps in that game.
It could be something like that. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
He was able to return. So
looks like they're taping him or something over there.
All right, so Dawkins, he needs 2 yards for a first down. He's going to maybe get 1 tough yard up to the 30-yard line, so it's going to bring up a third down situation a yard away.
So that's the strength of Lance Dawkins. He's going to get you 2-3 yards usually when he catches the ball, but he doesn't have breakaway speed, so he's not going to get you anything quickly. So to expect him to carry this team 60 yards is maybe a little unrealistic. We're going to have somebody else step up and get something done as well.
All right, so Young is under center on third down, and we get him to jump off, so we'll take that break. So anxious to make the stunt there was Julian Johnson, number 21, but he jumps across the line of scrimmage. Cats will pick up 5. Oh, actually, they're going to call it on Jasper.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. I mean, the linebacker absolutely stunted there, and if there was any movement, it was caused by the defensive player, you would think.
He was even hitting himself in the head afterwards.
Right.
He knew that he had jumped, but I think we came up after he crossed. That was a poor call.
So the penalty goes against the Jasper Wildcats.
I wish I could see the replay.
I know you're originally from Evansville, but when I come down to these Evansville football games, I get a little testy sometimes. All right, so
I'm from the west side. That's a different country.
Instead of 1st and 10, it's 3rd and 6 now.
Oh, boy.
Grant's going to have to pitch out on the option, and Berger, I think, got the pitch there, wasn't it? Or was it Day? I couldn't quite see. But regardless, Cat's not able to pick it up. So Isaac Day not able to get the yardage needed, and Jasper's going to be forced to punt. So Central gets a big break on that call.
Huge.
And so
we're not down there up close, and there's no replay here, but
right. Until tomorrow.
It certainly looked like we had them. Looked like they had jumped off sides.
All right, so actually Central this time is putting Torrey Evans back to return the punt. And actually Connor Foley's going to be forced to punt, and he punts one pretty sky high. It's not going to be returned, I don't believe. And so it's going to be fielded right there. right at about the 37-yard line. So, yeah, that was the other thing because Blake Mann's our punter, so we kind of had to put Connor Foley in a tough situation there.
He did a nice job with it. It was a nice high punt, gave our coverage time to get down there. And, there's the good thing about having Blake Mann punt is he's a threat to run like he did against Mater Dei last week. He can get the first down, or he could throw the ball even.
Right.
But the strength of having a kid like Connor Foley who can punt the ball with some height and some length is gives your coverage team a chance to get there and to pin him back a little bit with some better field position.
So Central's possession here starts at the 39-yard line. Boberg is the running back, and we got
Central. So see Blake on the sideline there. He's looking pretty gimpy. So
is that him walking? Down there with the headband.
He's walking something off.
I see him.
It's just hard to tell what it is.
He's actually trying to run it off there.
Yeah, he knows he's hurting because otherwise he'd be on the field. He's that kind of kid.
So that hold was a little bit in the backfield there, so it actually moves the football back to the 38-yard line. So when you say 11-yard penalty, really it's a 10-yard penalty, but it's at the spot of the foul. So they were 1 yard back there. So first and 21 as they pitch out to Evans on the right side and holding all over the place, but no call. So and the coaches to our left side up here in the press box, Jasper coaching staff not very happy there, but Evans is able to run out of bounds. They'll spot it right there at the 36-yard line.
Well, Ross Peter there, he did a nice job. He was right there to make the play, and he couldn't even turn his shoulder pads. He was held and officiating is a tough thing, and you just sometimes wonder, though, when something happens right in front of you, how you don't see it. But they have a lot of things to watch out there, too, at the same time. But
all right, so second down and 13. Diaz gets it. He's trying to get to the outside. He gets away from the Wildcat defender, but then met right at the line of scrimmage, so he might gain a yard on the play. But could have been about a 4-yard loss if they were able to catch him. But, again, these Central backs are quick, and they're tough to make plays on.
Looked like that was Michael Beekler in the backfield there early and didn't quite make the tackle, but he did a nice job slowing him down, turning him back to where the help was. And that's really important where the kid as fast as who had the ball there for them.
Right. That was Diaz, number 3.
Okay, Diaz, okay. Rogelio Diaz.
All right, so Camden
now you've got a passing situation.
They're going to throw, so they're looking for counts downfield. No, actually, they throw in the middle of the field. They look for the tight end, and, boy, he comes up and goes down. He may have pulled a calf muscle. That's what he's grabbing there, unless it's a cramp, but intended for number 21, Julian Johnson. Yeah, but he is in pain right now.
Yes, he is.
All right, so as they tend to him, we'll take a quick break here. 17-10, 2:45 to go here in the third quarter. Jasper trails Central here on 18 WJTS. So Julian Johnson actually comes off the field on his own power there, so hopefully for him it's just a cramp and it's nothing serious. So Central will be forced to punt here, and so they bring out number 10 again, Stephen Pritchett. So he's got an interception tonight. He's kicked a field goal. So he wears a number of hats for this football team, and I think he's listed as a quarterback, so I think he might be their backup quarterback as well. Just a junior.
He's a good athlete.
All right, so Day's back there waiting at about the 32-yard line. Cats get a rush, but back off there. So Day's got a return here from the 35, makes a move there, gets to the outside across the 40. 45, and then gets popped from the back and actually pushes them forward close to the 50-yard line. So a nice return there.
Yes.
So we'll give him credit for about a 15-yard return. 14, 15 yards. He'll have the football at the 49.
Looks like Blake is back into the game there. Is that right? Am I seeing that?
Yes, Mann is back on the football field.
Back in a quarterback.
Yep. So the Wildcat quarterback's back up there after.
I would say there's a pretty good shot of him playing offense and not any more defense tonight if he's injured. But a lot of character, a lot of guts to come in after an injury in a football game. But we absolutely need him here, so it's a good call.
So 2:33 on the clock. They give it to the fullback on the left side. So Dawkins again just I mean, he just absorbs contact better than any running back I think I've seen for Jasper in a long time. As he was able to get that football. I mean, he was just popped hard right there at the 50-yard line, but then surges forward for another 4 or 5.
No, I bet he goes through a lot of ice on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
He takes a beating, but he also dishes a few out. But he has been a workhorse for us this evening.
So ball at the 46. Man, looking good on this run, though. Again, he was running up and down the sideline over there, trying to get loosened up to get back into the football game. Showed a little quickness there to gain 4. Set up a 3rd and 1.
Looks like they're going to spot him right on it. Nope, a little bit. They're not going to measure that, huh?
Yeah, it's real close there. So we'll call it 3 yards since it's 3rd and 1 now here. Clock ticking with 1:27. Neither team has scored here in this 3rd quarter, so the halftime score of 17-10 remains right now. Luke Dawkins in motion, but Lance gets it on the right. No, actually, Mann keeps it. Now look at him go. Mann across the 20 to the 15. So whatever injury he had, it's not affecting him right now. So a big play there.
He's Lazarus. He is back. So he looked really good there. And the play action there by the backs and by Blake Mann was just tremendous. If you're a ball watcher, you lost the ball that time. You really did think that Dawkins had the ball. Now, Mann is still gimpy going up to the huddle, or up to the center there, so he's playing through some pain.
So 28-yard run for Mann, and now Dawkins, good penetration into the backfield there is Julian. Is that Johnson back in the football game, number 21? Yes, it is. Julian Johnson coming up from his linebacker spot. Loss of a yard on the run.
Well, this is obviously Mr. Obvious here, but this is an important possession for us. To be able to tie this score right here at the end of the 3rd quarter, beginning of the 4th quarter, really psychologically has to be tough for Central because, once again, they have not had to play a football game yet.
So we're at 26 seconds and gets a man to jump, but he's able to get back into position. Now Dawkins to the left side, lowers his head, and gets close to the 10-yard line. So they'll spot it at the 11, so a pickup of 5 on the play will set up a 3rd and 6. And that's going to bring us to the end of the quarter. So Wildcats rolling right now, John.
Looking good coming off the ball well offensively. Our line's looking good. We got Blake Mann back into the game, which is a big morale boost for us. You got to give a lot of credit to sophomore Grant Young while he was out there. He handled himself real well. I knew he threw a tough interception, but it was not a bad football. And really, if we don't complete that pass, we're punting anyway. So it's, no foul there. Then we end up getting the ball right back. But
right.
We put the ball in the end zone here, and I really do think we have momentum, and mainly from the psychological aspect of Central having not have to go into the 4th quarter and play a football game yet this year. And I think that's going to be to our advantage.
Right. Okay, so we'll take a break. It's into the 3rd quarter, 17-10. Jasper trails, but moving. When we come back, we'll be the 11-yard line on 3rd and 7 here on 18 WJTS. Set to start the 4th quarter here. The Jasper Wildcats against the Central Bears. Cats trail right now 17-10. The situation, ball at the 11-yard line, 3rd and 7. So Mann's going to go under center again. Man in motion is Luke Dawkins, but Mann's keeping it no matter what. And now he makes a spin move, but then gets popped forward on the hit. And I think he's there, yes. All right, so they're going to spot it right there at the 3-yard line. So an 8-yard pickup on 3rd and 7, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. You're exactly right, John. I mean, I was starting to wonder there, is it 4-down territory? Of course, he got the conversion, so now it's just you got to get 7 points on the board.
Absolutely, and if our line keeps coming off the count the way they are and driving those legs and giving us holes and opportunities, we're going to get in there.
Dawkins, left side, dives forward, in for the 3-yard touchdown run. And Mann is still gimping a little bit out there, but works his way off the field. But I'll tell you what, just what we needed. He had a 28-yard run on that drive that was huge to get the Wildcats deep into Central territory. And Dawkins pretty well cleaned up from there. But Mann got that 8-yard run on the 3rd and 7, of course.
You know, one of the things that's more common today than used to be is you'll have kids tell you, Coach, I'm hurt, I can't practice. Coach, I hurt, I can't play. And not a lot of kids, but there are some kids that do that. And you got a lot of kids like Blake Mann who will say, Coach, I'm fine, I need to play. And
right.
He'll play through the pain, and he's doing that, and we absolutely needed that.
Absolutely. All right, so the extra point is through, and Jasper has tied this football game 17-17 with 11:33 to go here in the fourth. You're watching the Cats here on 18 WJTS. So number 80, Sam Leonard's going to get the call to kick this football again. And we got a full quarter of football left, 11:33 on the clock, and Central will get the football back after the Wildcat touchdown drive. So, again, any man's football game right now, John.
Well, you're going to bet that we're not going to be kicking it deep here. So,
yeah, so again, another scoot kick. This one's fielded at the 26. And good
well
coverage.
Done.
Trying to see the number there.
I couldn't either. It's unfortunate because whoever it is just made a really nice tackle.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
I see him running off.
Yeah, it's number, is that 18? Trying to pick it up. If it was, that's Victor Peter. Either 18 or 19.
Or
Ty
16
Wiseman.
or 14 or 15.
Yeah, well, 16's Geeser. He's out on the football field. So,
okay.
But yeah,
it's unfortunate that you can't
is
catch the number because he did a heck of a job there.
Right.
Gets a pretty athletic and quick return man for the Bears. Made a nice tackle and pinned him back in. You know, Central starting in tough field position probably for one of the first times.
Right. So they're at the 27-yard line. Pitch is a little bit high there for number 6 Counts. He hauls it in and is able to get some positive yardage there to about the 32, 33 yard line. They're going to spot it at the 31, so pick up a 4.
Nice tackle on the play by Jack Albrand in the open field. And number 1, Grant Maringer, helping on the assist. But Coach Lewis is on our corners on those wideouts. We're giving him a few extra yards, and we're trying to keep him in front of, as you can tell. He doesn't want to take a chance of one of those quick receivers getting outside us. But it leaves that quick pass open.
Straight up the middle. That's Boberg, and boy, he had a nice run. Again, I think kind of caught the defense off guard there, and he's able to get into Wildcat territory at the 47.
Yeah, I don't know where our middle linebacker ended up there, but I'm assuming he would. I don't know if we were stunning or blitzing or if he got walled off, but Grant Maringer did a nice job coming in from the outside and making that tackle.
So 22 yards on the run sets up Central 1st and 10, 11:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. Give the same play straight up. Cats, oh, now he gets away. Boberg, and now we're going to have a face mask.
Oh.
So we're going to tack on another 15 yards on top of that, but Boberg looked like he was stopped maybe for about a 2 or 3 yard gain there, but then powers forward all the way to the 30-yard line, so another 17-yard run there.
Well, unfortunately, and you can't make excuses, and it's not the official's fault. Ashton Sheeter, our middle linebacker there, was in position, and they hammered down on him and grabbed a hold of him, and he could not maneuver to get away, and I think that's what they're doing right now. They're attacking us up that middle.
So 15 more yards on the penalty. So the face mask will set Central at the 15-yard line, so they are moving right along quickly. Just about a minute or so into this drive. 1st and 10. Now Evans gets in on the act. Cuts him away. Now he's going to go to the left side. He cut inside and he takes it in for the touchdown, so that did not take long. Central got the football with 11:33 to go. Less than 1 minute. They have taken the lead right back.
Well, that's what we've been talking about the whole game, and I know that's what the coaches of Jasper understand, is this is a very dangerous football team. We've really been fortunate that they haven't had more quick scores like that, but the good news is we've held them for most of the game, Craig. We haven't given up anything that quick, so we'll write that one off as a fluke, and we'll keep working. So now, obviously, we need to answer. We need to find a play to respond and answer with our own score.
All right, snap is there. The kick is straight through, and Central now leads the Jasper Wildcats 24-17 here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Central Bears have taken the lead 24-17, and mostly on the ground there, a 22-yard run and a 17-yard run by number 20, Jacob Boberg. And then a 15-yard face mask penalty, put him at the 15-yard line, and you just give it to Torrey Evans at that point, and he was able to take it in for the score. So Cats will have to match that scoring right here, down by a touchdown. And I believe that's Peter. Peter with a nice return, though.
Nice.
They're kind of doing the same thing, just kicking right at us. And Jasper's going to have outstanding field position. And, John, we were talking about, Jasper's going to have to continue to just basically match what Central's doing as far as scoring right here. And, that definitely helps with better field position. But Mann's not looking too hot running back out into the field. But, again, I think his adrenaline obviously kicked in on that last drive because he had some nice runs.
Yeah, you know what, and this is the fourth quarter, and it's the biggest game of the year. And, anybody can play in a fourth quarter, for example, when the game's lopsided, the score's lopsided. But this is a tight game. We still have a chance to win. And so really we're going to see right now two teams, who wants it the most, who's going to make the fewest mistakes, and who's going to execute.
All right, so Dawkins on the right side. So he maybe gains 2 on that play. And actually, Central has a player down right now. That's number 54, hobbled a little bit. And Isaac Butler, defensive end. And he looks like he's going to stay on the field, though.
Yeah, that defensive line for Central, they're not real bulky, but they're thick, and they look like they have a good center of gravity. They've been quick, and they've been tough to deal with all night. They keep fighting, and they play a 3-man front quite a bit. They play like a 33, like an umbrella.
Day in motion. They're going to run the option. Man, though, keeps it, turns up field, but actually he was hit initially, but then carried forward to get into Central territory at about the 48.
And that 54 is taking himself out now for Central. It looks like cramping, so that's that fatigue of not having been pushed this far into the game. So I think the key is for Jasper not to panic, but also to have a sense of urgency, that understanding that every possession at this point counts. And we have to keep moving forward, and scoring on this drive isn't imperative, but it would be huge.
All right, so 3rd and 4 is what the Wildcats are facing here. And Dawkins gets it to the left side, dives forward, and they give him the yardage.
Yeah, that is not a good spot.
Oh, they were like right on the line, so this might be I don't even know if they're even going to measure. Oh, man, he dove right over that ball, or that line.
It's one of those, the guy on our sideline where the chain is did the spot. And almost like before he walked out, he looked at the chain. And I'm not saying he cheated, but why even look back at it to see where you're at? Go mark the ball and then look at the chain.
Yeah.
He looked back at the marker on his way out to spot it, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, they did not call for a measurement there, so Jasper needs just inches here. Man going with a longer count, gives it to Dawkins. He gets it on the left side, so 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Drive continues from the 44-yard line.
Plenty of time, 8 minutes left in the game. We're moving the ball, we're moving the chains. We're inside their territory. We've got this where we want it, and it's just imperative now that we hang on to the football, that we keep getting positive yards every time, and then we don't lose our patience and think that we have to try something fancy or tricky to get into the end zone. Just stay the course right here and do what we're good at. Stay with our bread and butter.
So we're at the 8-minute mark right here in the 4th. Dawkins gets it. Has to dance around, but still 4 or 5 guys cannot stop him. And he picks up 6 or 7, or about 5, I guess, on that run. Ball was at the 44. They'll spot it at the 39.
It's another one of those plays for Lance Dawkins. You wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get anything out of that, and he ends up with 5 yards.
Yeah.
He finds a way to get positive yards on his own.
All right, so 2nd down and 5. Man, now they run an outside counter there, and Day maybe picks up a yard on that run.
Central's defense just recovers so quickly because it looked initially on that handoff that we might have a little bit of running room, and it just that the hold just evaporated so quickly. They've done a nice job of making us earn everything. I think the offensive and defensive lines for both squads tonight have been solid. It's as good as a matchup up front as I've seen this year of any Jasper team we've played, or any team we've played, any opponent that we've played this year.
Day comes in motion, but he's gimping a little bit there. So now quarterback has to keep it, and
first down.
I think he did get it. If they spot it in the right spot, you never know.
Well, he ran out to spot it this time without looking back at the chain, so
Yeah.
I did like that.
So he needed 5. Man gets 6. But, yeah, I mean, again, Day is just playing with determination right now because, I mean, in between each play, he's hobbling back to the huddle there. And then, like I mentioned, Day looked like he was a little hobbled after his last run.
And this is the tough thoughts that go through coach's mind right here is our schedule doesn't get any easier after this week.
Right.
This is the kind of beating you take every week, and it's just hard to play through a schedule like this.
All right, Cats looking to throw, and Man's just going to have to throw it out of bounds. Going to get it downfield there. Pretty well just throwing it away, but I think he really wanted the tight end in the middle of the field, but the safeties had it well covered.
And once again, he had to leave the pocket, scramble left, and we had at least 2 receivers out here on the right side, Craig, that unfortunately stopped and watched. They should run a secondary route at that point. They should flow toward the sideline where he's running to, and maybe he'll catch him coming back across the middle. And that's something you get with experience, and we just don't have a lot of experience throwing the ball.
All right, so they were having a discussion there. If they were thinking about throwing a flag because,
we had a receiver on the 10-yard line.
Right there at the 10, exactly.
Yeah, that would have been unfortunate if they called that. I think Blake more than likely was getting rid of the football, but at the same time, there was a receiver nearby, so I'm not sure how they could say what his intention was.
All right, so it stops the clock at 5:56, 2nd and 10. Dawkins on the right side. And look at this. Complete determination by number 23. I'll tell you what, that play looked like it was stopped right at around the 29-yard line. And the play ends up at about the 24, so he's going to be close to a first down, and he is a first down. What a 10-yard run by number 23.
I don't know if Lance is going to play college football or not, but I know there's a lot of rugby teams that would love to have him. That was a rugby scrub. There were 8 guys in a circle, and he was pushing it forward. So that was an old school, just gutted out effort of getting anything out of that, especially getting a first down out of it.
We're at 5:26. The give is on the right side there, and again, protect that football. Central seems like every time they're actually trying to wrestle the football away, a turnover would be huge for the Bears and crucial for the Wildcats. 5-yard pickup there.
Another important thing here is we're moving the ball down in a position to score. It's imperative we get it in the end zone now, and at the same time we're running this clock off, and we're taking any opportunity for Central to get the ball back in and to answer.
Yeah, because we're at 4:49 right now, so there goes Man.
So that's the big question you start thinking about as a coach, and the ball's not in the end zone yet, so we don't. But do you go for 2 in the win, or do you tie it up and hope for overtime?
Yeah, that's true.
But first, let's score, then we'll worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so third down situation here. It's going to be 3rd and 3. This Man only picked up a couple on that play.
Waiting on a play. We're still in the huddle. Play clock's coming down. I think Coach Lewis may be thinking about his first timeout here, maybe.
Yeah, obviously.
To talk about
because I think he's just wanting to milk that clock, maybe, because we're down to 8, 7, 6, 5. He can still get the play off, so I guess they're just milking it down. 1 gets the play off. Man pitches it out.
Cut back.
If he can get to the marker, oh, man, he's going to be close there.
He landed on the marker, didn't he?
We'll see where they spot it, though. I think they're going to spot it short. So that was Dave. And I'll tell you what, Berger's not been out here in this second half, at least in any of the slot positions. They've been running Luke Dawkins out there. But any of the option plays have been going to Day. Day's just 1 yard short there. So
they've been using Berger on defense, so maybe they're resting him a little bit offensively. I don't believe that he's hurt. But.
So 4th and less than a yard. Dawkins gets it on the right side. He's got the first down as he rushes it to the 11. So a 3-yard pickup. So Jasper has converted 2 fourth downs on this drive.
I think that we have shown up front right now that we're moving them back, that we're opening holes, that our running backs, especially Dawkins, are getting positive yards every time, and we've got plenty of time. Down there around 11-yard line with 3.5 minutes left, I don't see any reason for Coach Lewis to even think about changing anything he's doing.
Right.
And just provided that we keep moving forward every time. This is just a gutsy effort, and Central is wearing down, and that's important.
Play clock's at 2. Snap is there. Now man's going to keep it. Moves a little bit laterally there before he heads forward. And
going to get about another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah.
Got plenty of time. Clock's running, but there's 3 minutes left. And we've seen how fast Central can score. We don't want to leave them much time to be able to do that.
Right. So about 3 or 4 on that play. Sets the football at the 7-yard line. And get a first down right inside the 1. But more importantly, need to get into the end zone for the touchdown. 2:39 on the clock.
Hang on to that football. Keep moving forward. Hit your holes. Line get off on the count.
Dawkins plows over one man, gets across the 5. Again, this drive has got to end in a touchdown for the Cats because all the cards are on the table right now.
Looks like we have 3 plays to get, or 2 plays to get at least 4 yards, because we can still get a first down. We can get a first and goal on the 1, it looks like.
So right now we'll call it 3rd and 4, I guess. 3rd and 4 because the ball is at the 5-yard line, and that first down marker's inside the 1.
Central has stayed in a 3-man front, but they got all 4 linebackers in the gaps there now.
Dawkins left side. Can he plow forward? He's going to be a little bit short. They're going to mark it short of the marker. So he's probably at about the 2-yard line, I believe.
Here's the play of the game.
Absolutely. So it comes down. Yeah, exactly. What a football game we've had tonight. And right now it's power football for the Jasper Wildcats. 1 minute and 19 seconds. They have 17 seconds on the play clock. And we'll see if Jasper calls a timeout here. I think they may. They're going to milk this down because they haven't even called the play. Now it's down to 7, 6. And we'll take that timeout. So 1 minute and 2 seconds to go. John, big situation here. All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be 4th and 1 from the 2-yard line here on 18 WJTS.
You know, I feel like we've got to give the ball to Lance Dawkins, and I like the left side of that line because that's where we've had our most damage tonight, but we'll wait and see.
Oh, no, the Cats run an option play, and it just completely gets stuffed, so Dawkins doesn't even get the football on the play. I don't know if we were trying to throw the defense off, but man, oh, man. Number 23 with just a workmanlike effort all night, and it's been tough to stop for this Central defense, and doesn't even get the ball in a short yardage situation there. And that's going to be the ball game.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, without the luxury of replay, I can't see it again. I don't know what options Blake had with the ball there.
Actually, Central's got a player down, but yeah, again, you have a hobbled quarterback. Number 5 has been kind of gimping around all night. He's had some decent runs, but I just don't think he quite had the legs to get that necessary yard. And again, it's just been working with 23 all night.
Yeah,
I would have loved to take my chances with him.
Well, the thing about it is when you run a triple option, I don't know what the initial play action was, but Blake he might have had an opportunity to hand it to him.
Right.
I don't. A lot of times that comes down to the quarterback and his decision and what he sees, and maybe he saw something there where he had a hole where he was going to hit, and it just closed down too quick. So
I
don't think that we ever intended to pitch it, but you know, it's difficult. And like I said, I'll watch the replay and we'll all take a look at it and see. But
yeah,
it's certainly difficult right now to second guess anything that was called. But at the same time, I agree with you. I would have loved to see Lance have that ball in his hands right there.
Well, and the other thing, too, you had 2 timeouts. So, if you didn't like what you saw at the line of scrimmage, and again, that's tough for a 17, 18-year-old quarterback to kind of make that read. But, again, that's just a situation, a learning opportunity for him or any quarterback out there. It's just, you get to the line of scrimmage, the play doesn't look like it's going to work. You call a timeout because, again, that was the play of the game right there.
It did come down to that, and, it's not looking good for us right now, obviously. I don't know how many timeouts we have left.
There's 2 left.
So, we won't be able to win this game without a ridiculous mistake by Central. But
so it was actually Julian Johnson who actually hobbled off the field there. So he's had a couple times he's had to come off. But, again, Central right now, huge situation here. 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line, 56.2 on the clock.
Well, they're running the ball.
Yeah, and that's going to pretty well seal it, I think, for the most part, because, again, Jasper with just 2 timeouts, and number 20, he's had some nice runs tonight. That's Jacob Boberg, and he takes it all the way. It really doesn't matter where he takes it. He just got the first down, so the ball's right there at the 28-yard line, so 17-yard run.
Yeah, that's going to do it. But our guys have nothing to hang their heads about. They played their hearts out tonight, Craig, and we have to live with the fact that we missed an opportunity right there at the end to score, and we also gave away 1 score, and we're just so close to this being a completely different outcome.
Sure.
But that's why you play the best teams. I
right.
mean, you lose in sometimes when you compete, but it makes you better. And we learned tonight. We got better tonight. I have no doubt about that.
So actually, Central's just going to take the penalty here. They didn't call a timeout. I don't know why, but yeah. So it's going to be a delay of game, push them back. So they're going to at least have to take 1 more knee. But Jasper's got 2 timeouts. I mean, heck.
Well, I think that we understood though that
it's not
they would just take a knee after that and it
right.
would be over. So doing the math, it didn't make any sense.
No.
Now I would have thought they would have taken a knee after the first snap, but they ran the ball.
Yeah. All right, so quarterback takes a knee, and the Central Bears win this football game 24-17, and they will sit atop of the standings of the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference in this big matchup between 2 top 5 teams here in the state, and the 2 leading teams along with North coming into tonight. And tough battle, and like you said, again, Central, I guess, really, if you look at the difference, is just that 1 touchdown run by Torrey Evans on the fumble return. But, again, Jasper came right back and battled here in the second half, but Central was just able to hold them off.
It's just one of those games, Craig, that it was unfortunate that these stands weren't full.
Well, no question.
In this day and age with the COVID and everything like that, we understand the precautions are necessary, but this is a game against 2 of the better teams in the area, if not the 2 best teams in the area. And there were a few hundred people watching the game tonight, and there should have been a few thousand. And I feel bad for the kids that they didn't get a chance to experience that kind of atmosphere. But at the same time, I'm also happy for them that they got to play.
Right.
And we have nothing to be ashamed of. We competed. We had a chance to win the game at the end. Weren't able to quite do it, but we played a quality football team on their field and played well for the most part, minus a few mistakes. And improved, and I think that's what it's all about in the end. Sometimes when you compete, you lose.
Right.
And it's how you handle that that's more important than anything. And I know losing drums up negative feelings, and people want to second guess and point fingers and feel like the season's over. But, we're still 5-1 with 1 loss on the road to Evansville Central, and there's still some teams that Central can play that can knock them off too. So we're not out of the hunt for this SIC title. So there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of or give up about.
Oh, and that's the thing. I mean, Central, we mentioned at the outset, big game tonight against Jasper, obviously. Both teams undefeated coming into it. And then, they got Harrison next week, but then it's at Castle and it's, at Evansville North as well. So, again, they've got a tough road. It's basically the same road we do for the most part.
Yeah, and it doesn't get easier for us either. That's why it's hard to when you see some of the injuries that we potentially have, especially with Blake Mann, and you look and see who we're playing next week, and you think we don't have time to be hurt right now. But you talked earlier in the game, early in the game, we talked about playing in the SIAC, and that's one of the tough parts of it is you never seem to have a week where you can rest people and get healthy. It's kind of like playing in Big Ten football in a way, at a lower level, obviously, but you're out of the frying pan into the fire. Next week's opponent is as tough as this week's opponent, and so you just have to, pray that you stay healthy, keep working hard, and do the best you can.
Well, and that's the thing, obviously, when you get a game like this, and it's an emotional football game, obviously, and especially one that comes down to the wire there. But in basketball, a lot of times when you have these situations, let's say it's a big game on a Friday night, you got 24 hours, less than 24 hours at that particular point after a game to kind of recover and get your team ready to play the next night. Football, you got another week or so. But still, what's the message to this team to make sure that you keep your heads up?
Just what we said. The season's not over. We lost a game, and it hurts to lose. If you're a competitor, it hurts to lose. But also, if you're a competitor, you figure out why you lost and you do something about it. So you walk out with your head up, and you walk out and you keep a positive attitude, and you realize tomorrow's time to get back to work. In basketball, we may play again the next night, but physically, that's a lot. Obviously, that's more possible. You don't have the injuries that you have in football and the beatings.
Right.
But it's psychologically and emotionally, it's the same. A loss like this, if you're mentally weak, can send you backwards in a hurry because it can make you start doubting yourself and questioning what you're doing, and these guys can't let that happen.
All right, well, we'll take a look at the numbers here real quick, and again, just an even football game for both these teams. Actually, Jasper with 58 offensive plays, 265 yards compared to 38 offensive plays for Central and 219 yards. But, one player that was big for Central in the second half, especially on their scoring drive, and then to kind of finish it off there with a nice run. But Jacob Boberg, he was solid there in that second half running the football.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a good football team when you're actually arguably your most talented player didn't even play tonight, but you had other athletes step up and make big runs, make touchdowns, return fumbles for touchdowns, kick field goals. They had a variety of different athletes contribute, and that's what makes Central so dangerous, and we saw that firsthand tonight.
All right, and so for the Wildcats, they were led by Lance Dawkins with 124 yards. He scored a touchdown. Blake Mann had 118 and a touchdown. No passing yards for the Wildcats. Just Mann was actually 0 for 1 passing. Grant Young got some action in there when Mann was out and threw an interception. But still, the Wildcat rushing attack, 265 yards. So still, that's the way we play football, and that's the way we're going to be able to move up and down the field. But again, just came up a little bit short tonight.
Yeah, that would be it's not a criticism, it's a critique, and I know Coach Lewis feels the same way that we're executing this Delaware T is what I used to call it, the swing
triple
T, we're executing it really, really well, but sometimes when you go up against a more athletic team, it might be nice to have a little something else in the arsenal, and I'm sure Coach Lewis has things that they work on and that they're going to get to that, but it's really hard to be consistently successful with a little bit of passing game, and we had 0 passing yards tonight.
Yeah.
And that's got to be something I think that they got to look at on the drawing board, but not second guessing them at all. Their kids played their hearts out. They had a good game plan, and we minus a couple of mistakes, we could have won this game tonight. So I'm very proud of Coach Lewis and what they did tonight, and I know they'll be back next week ready to win.
Absolutely. So again, next week it's going to be at Castle. So again, it's a 3-week run of being on the road at Central. Next week's at Castle, then Evansville North after that. So, Well, John, you did an outstanding job covering for us. Again, we love covering you during the basketball season. We get our post-game interviews with you and all that. But great perspective, and I'm going to look into that Delaware T offense. So is that maybe also a basketball offensive play for you?
No, that's what that used to be called back in the day for some reason, and I'm an old school football coach, so that's what we used to call it. And I guess the terminology's a little antiquated now, but I enjoyed being here. I appreciate it, Craig. It's a lot easier sitting up here and watching someone else make decisions and have to squirm a little bit and trying to figure out what I would have done different to win the game. So instead of that happening to me. So
all right. So just don't get mad at me during basketball season.
My check is in the mail, I'm assuming. So
it'll be in the mail.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Coach John Gable, with outstanding coverage tonight. We'll have Bob Welp back in action next week as the Wildcats will take on the Castle Knights at Castle. 7:30 kickoff local time for Jasper, 6:30 Central Time in the Warwick County area. So for Jeremy Marcos on the video, John Gable tonight on the color commentary, my name is Craig Schneider. This is Wildcat Football here on 18 WJTS. Jasper falls 24-17 against the Central Bears. Good night.